Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Yeah, supposed to be the people's house. I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers. I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people. Yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team. Red and white and blue. That's me. Voices on the block. I'm breaking through. I got the keys. I'm in the lobby. Yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Yeah, signing for the fam. Yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard. I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision. Yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bad. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hands, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming.
Good morning,
cheap.
ladies and gentlemen.
Legends walk these rooms.
Dogs for human
now
rights.
Photo ops, power plays,
Beautiful
all
day.
day, trapping
Good
for
morning.
the vote. Big Zeus, it's the people's house.
Big Zeus. Powers in the air, Big Zeus.
Yeah, we knocking on the door. Big Zeus.
We wanna hear your soul.
Yeah, who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People or them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall, they staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told, I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true, all I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked, this power never divides. Spitting for the block, head busters make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, power's in the air. Yeah,
Good morning. All right.
We knocking on your door.
Let's get this show
It's the
started.
people's house. We wanna hear your soul.
We don't have all morning to do the Lord's work. It doesn't take that long when you got the truth on your side. Good morning. Don't want to make a mess.
Feel like I'm stuck in a
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. W's in the chat for Q. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
and I can't escape it. It's like deja vu.
Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming.
I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class.
You can tell that I made it. Look at my graph.
Cars in the garage with tanks
JC,
full of gas.
Rico, Dub.
Game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room, screaming, how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you get your famous.
The algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac.
Check out all these numbers on my spreadsheet.
Ooh, Benjamin Franklin is my passenger.
And if they is my ex, that mean they left me.
Chef
They don't
CC,
get me close and they
A6
test me.
Walker.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Uh-oh.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Okay, here we go, ladies and
Call me
gentlemen.
the master with a new whip.
Uh-oh.
I'ma take
Here goes
off
Zeus
in
haters.
spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of
This is what
days.
they all said.
That shit was radical.
Keep it clean, man.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
They always make up everything. They say anything, don't they?
It's like deja vu.
They really do.
It's like deja vu.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host. I am your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here this morning. We have to continue the work we've been doing. Not just myself, but a lot of you who are out here doing the work too. You're amazing as well. Whether you're doing lives yourself or you're in the comments, we're doing the real work it takes to save this country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons, who we all are very clear. Uh-oh. Santana. Wow, bro. You got a legend in here. Santana, if you don't know, now you know. Thank you, bro. I see what you're doing. And that's somebody that does real work on this app, honestly, because I can't stay on and debate like he does. He's up there destroying demons seriously. But yeah, what we're doing is we're saving the country one show at a time like this. And we do it by debunking these Trump voters in real time. I see you, Takesha. Good morning, Takesha. All of you. And we confront them and we show them who really is destroying the United States of America. And we do it with an array of tools, right? We could either give them audio clips of things Donald Trump has said. We'll actively listen to them and catch them in their lies and in their hypocrisy. And if none of that works, then we got tools for them, right? And those tools those tools include us warming up the lake of fire and then sending them straight to hell. W. Monty, thank you for sharing this out. Yes, please. If you want to riz up the live, if they say, well, because I don't require people to donate to the platform because a lot of us, we're blessed and highly favored, right? But if you can, you can. But the real important thing is to always be a beacon of light in the midst of darkness, because that's what we need to save this country more than anything. And part of that means sharing this live, tapping the screen, and making sure every single MAGA demon on the face of the earth here's the words that are being spoken on this show. That's how you riz up the live. And then they say, well, Zeus, who are you to be sending people straight to hell? And then I say, that's a great question. Well, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, the first H is quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. I'm actually the most honest person on social media. Am I right, Zena? The second H is because I'm humble. I'm the most humble person on social media. And then the last and the final H, and I know Santana is here, but hey, somebody has to do it, right? I gotta say it. And Nutty, you could be here too. W's in the chat for CC. It is truly because I am and will always remain the most handsome. I woke up like this. And that's the one thing, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle. Thank you. You all are giving me an amazing round of applause. But that's the one thing, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, if you violate that one H, right, you get around me and you start talking about how handsome you are, you might end up finding yourself somewhere where it's dark and hell is hot, sort of like DMX's album, right? You don't want to do that. Now, before I go any further, I just got to give you a bit of a heads up, and sometimes I want to make sure that, because this is when the show starts going off the rails, and now I got to start providing evidence to TikTok that people are reporting my live, right? We don't want that on this show, right? So I got to start providing them with evidence. So I don't want anyone here reporting, all right? So please don't come to my platform unless you honestly just want to be informed, entertained, educated, and engaged, so to speak. Because what we do is pretty impressive, right? We go, I got to keep it clean, but we go hard in the paint over here and defending the truth. And so if you can't handle that, right? You're one of these, that guy, Mr. Racist, Wildman Grinder 69. That's his grandpappy. He tried to argue with me that there's no racism in 2026. But then get this, after he got done talking to me, he said, I believe that there is racism now, Zeus, because Zeus, you are a racist, right? I'll make you a believer. If you can't handle the truth, you like just watching Fox News and being bamboozled out of every single crying dime you got, and you like complaining about how Barack Obama did this and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did all that, then just leave my show right now, because I'm going to make it very, very uncomfortable for you in here. I hit, I don't miss. I hit, I don't miss. All right? But you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Yeah.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay, too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed. And I take no response. Oh, Dame is here. Wow, Dame, you're here. Wow. I got to give you a round of applause, bro, because honestly, you take so much heat and you still keep coming back knowing that Big Zeus is right. So I got to give it to you, man. I don't know how you do it. But you must understand deep down in your, and y'all pray for Dame. Y'all pray deep down in your hearts for this brother because he is really tormented. And so the direction that I see the comments, Blackbird, Ange, hey Dame, your poll numbers are tanking, dude. I don't know what to say other than just keep on keeping on. All right, keep telling yourself that. All right. And so what we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is we'll get started in where we left off at the beginning of this week, and I am now no longer going to do everything we do from here on out. I'm just going to assume Donald Trump is directing a movie, a Hollywood production. All right, can you see him right there? This is you see him right there. I just can't get this photo out of my head. I really can't. Some people have seen, I mean, the man's a psychopath. This is demonic stuff. It's one thing to stage something, but multiple times and then just ramp up the scenes, the Hollywood movie scenes that we're got going on right now. And so I want to remind every single one of you, what we're in the middle of is the Trump show, midterm crisis scenes, poll numbers tanking, gas prices are going through the roof, economy's just in complete shambles. The war with Iran, it was never supposed to go past 6 weeks, but we're way outside of 6 weeks, and he's out of tricks. And now we are seeing what a desperate person is doing, trying to rebound and bring their poll numbers up. So the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which he directed and starred in, could you believe this? He directed and starred in it. Yeah, he hasn't released the Epstein files. It's not working. And they've done multiple press conferences to try to convince the American people, like, this guy, Donald Trump, is really the victim. How many of you out there think Donald Trump is the victim? It's not working. How many of you think Donald Trump is the victim right now? No, seriously. No. Can I just, come on. There has to be one person out here. We got a couple hundred people out here. We are his victims, Ange. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, there's over hundreds and hundreds of thousands, almost people, and not one person in here. And I know there's some demons in here. Not one of you believe that he's the victim. Route W to the chat. Okay. And Donald Trump knows this. So what does he decide to do? He decides we got to go ahead and throw something at the wall to once again try to convince people that I am, as I've been trying to say the whole time. What is it going to take to make you all believe that I'm the victim? You didn't believe what happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? Well, maybe you will believe this. How many of you know who this is? If you don't know, this is a man who clearly has an alcohol problem, who was on his way out because his girlfriend is cheating on him in the closet at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. No one respects him. He's being locked out of his computer. He can't solve any big crime scenes. He can't even figure out what happened to Charlie Kirk. That happened on his watch, and he knows Donald Trump wants to fire him and get rid of him because he's just bad news. And he's really auditioning to try to keep that job. And so what we're going to do is watch Kash Patel latest stunt. And this is all part of the Trump show. These are the scenes. This is him trying to convince Donald Trump that he is a very valuable FBI director. All right, so lights, camera, action. And this is the scene here is James Comey took that photo of those seashells, and he did it years ago. He did it over a year ago. But now it's a problem because the White House Correspondents' Dinner didn't work. Maybe this will. All right. Starring Kash Patel.
As you heard from the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney, former FBI Director James Comey has now been indicted for 2 felony counts. While many of you may read this indictment and view this matter as a simple investigation, it is the farthest thing from that. Every single investigation this FBI and our partners at the Department of Justice undertake, especially those that involve the threats to harm or hurt or even kill individuals, whether they hold public office or civilians in our country, are met with the same measure of investigative prowess and tools and personnel.
What is Cash really saying? I'm going to be honest with you. And you got to imagine Trump is behind the scenes staring at this, watching this, and his only concern is this helping? Is what Cash doing? Is what Cash is doing right now? Is this helping my poll numbers, or is it making it worse? And again, I just can't help but say, Cash, your acting skills are super terrible. They're terrible, bro. We all can literally see you fighting alcoholism while trying to stay on script, stay on topic and follow your script, but none of this makes any sense. You got to hit harder. You got to convince us that James Comey was really out to get Donald Trump. And using all these big words, bro, and you're a little man, nah.
Partnership with the Department of Justice as anyone else. As the U.S. Attorney indicated, James Comey will be afforded every matter of due process under the United States Constitution. And as the Attorney General indicated, this has been a case that's been investigated over the past 9, 10, 11 months. These cases take time. Our investigators work methodically. They are career agents, career prosecutors who work these matters. They call the balls and strikes in the field as they see fit, pursuant to the facts of the case and the law.
They call balls and strikes in the field. Wasn't yesterday Donald Trump talking about baseball and plates and stuff like that? Cash, I got to give it to you. You really are speaking Trump's language, though. So maybe you might be able to get a little more extra time, all right? It is Wednesday. You should have already been gone, all right?
They took that information and made a presentment to a grand jury, a jury of peers in the district in which the alleged crime took place. And that grand jury spoke, and that grand jury returned a 2-count indictment against James Comey.
Now, that's going to get you into a lot of trouble. 2 counts? You should have had a 10 count, Cash. Oh, Cash, you could have got 10 counts, but you walked out with 2. And I looked at the paper. It was really only 2 pages long. Cash, I got to tell you right now, bro, this is really, honestly, I'm just not sold, Cash.
James Comey allegedly threatened the life of the President of the United States. And as you all now know, shortly after posting that threat, he deleted that threat.
Oh, okay. So he's not even really making it a serious thing, and it's over a year ago, bro.
And then issued an apology.
And he
all
apologized?
That information was presented to the grand jury, and Mr. Comey will have his day in court and his ability to speak to a jury of his peers. Thank you. All
right. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask, is there anybody out there that believes Cash Patel did a great job selling Donald Trump on the fact that James Comey is going to go to prison the rest of his life? Like the person who staged the Takesha, you said no? No, come on. Look at that. We got over 1,000 people in here. There has to be, God, please give us a Trump supporter out there. Maybe we could get Ray. What was his name last week? Raymond? Not the good Raymond, the bad one. Can we get Raymond to at least chime in and say he truly believes Cash Patel is telling the truth? Raymond, where are you at? You have to believe every single word Cash just said. Oh, someone wrote wasting our taxpayer dollars. Okay. And rightfully so. Nobody believes you, Cash. No one believes you, bro. And this is going to be the first round of the Lake of Fire. Hey, Cash Patel, I got to send you to hell. Just leave while you still have some sort of dignity intact. Your girl is cheating on you. Everyone thinks you're the laughing stock of the FBI. You can't solve any of the crimes. The Charlie Kirk one, you can't even solve that. So this is going to be us sending Cash Patel straight to hell. Terrible acting. You could be telling the truth. All right.
Silence.
Yes.
You MAGA demon.
You could be telling the truth, Cash, but on the Trump show, midterm crisis scenes starring Trump, Trump needs you to really do a deep dive into this role as the FBI director. Using big words all the time and making your eyes do that thing right there, it actually makes us not trust you. You got to build trust with your audience, all right? So we're going to give you an F on this staged attempt to try to once again portray Donald J. Trump as a victim. And number two, speaking of the victim, Donald Trump is the biggest harasser and bullier on the face of the earth. Donald Trump is the agent of chaos. And I'll give you an example real quick. I know I'm going a little off topic. Let me see. Here it goes. Let me see. Do I have it right here? This is what did he post on his social media platform yesterday? What did he post yesterday? This is what he posted yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Donald Trump posted on his social media platform yesterday. Does that look like somebody? Does that look like a victim right here to you? No more Mr. Nice Guy. Yeah, this is what Donald Trump, the sitting president of the United States of America, is doing. Posting himself, burning up, I guess that could be, Iran in the background, walking around with, a pew-pew. Yeah. So, this is why, and someone said, well, Zeus, why do you call it a show? Because that was a good question. I'll tell you why it's a show. Remember, this is Donald Trump right here. You see him standing in the curtain, and these are his words.
I did want to see what was happening because, I'm the president. In one way, I guess I should be hiding. In another way, I want to see if I can be helpful. But I did watch because I could see what was going on at the door.
Yeah.
I also saw a lot of
right there.
Very strong, physically strong, really attractive law enforcement people come through those doors. And frankly, it made me feel very safe, very, very safe. There was nobody going to get by them. And this was at the very back of the ballroom, looking at the back of the ballroom. Big
the
room.
counter-assault team that comes in.
Yeah, they were very impressive. I think they were very impressive.
You heard what he said? Little.
Law enforcement people come through those doors. And frankly, it made me feel very safe, very, very safe. There was nobody going to get by them. And this was at the very back of the ballroom, looking at the back of the ballroom. Big
the
room.
counter-assault team that comes in.
Yeah, they were very impressive. I think they were very impressive.
Looking at the back. There you go. So we know we all are very clear-minded that this was an act. And the Iranians, I guess, I don't know who put this video together, but for those of you who might be joining and you're asking, well, why is Big Zeus calling it an act? Okay, for those of us who are free thinkers and look at that, no strings attached, we can think independently and come to conclusions on our own. This is the best way, as far as we're concerned. This is the best way to show you that this was all an act.
Huh?
A few minutes later.
I mean, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we say it. That's why we say it's an act, and it failed miserably, right? It failed miserably, which is now why you have this kind of like blitz going on where they're kind of just looking for ways to try to convince you that Donald J. Trump is the victim. Like Ann said, he's not the victim. The American people are the victim, actually. And so, we just watched Kash Patel. Now, this morning, Todd Blanche, he realized, because he knows that people like myself, I really do believe this, honestly. I really do believe that they are monitoring social media and seeing if their act is actually working. And then they're going back to the boardroom and they're saying, well, Zeus didn't buy it this time. what else can we do to try to make, the American people buy it? And so they tried the Cash Patel routine, and that failed miserably. So Todd Blanche showed up on CBS this morning, and I'm like, gosh, man, he's only the acting attorney general, but I think Todd Blanche is really putting way too much emphasis in the acting part of his job right now. And so he goes on to CBS to once again try to convince viewers that Donald Trump is the victim, not of the White House Correspondents thing, because that's already been debunked. No one buys that. Now they're going back to James Comey. And so you got to see this. You have to see Todd Blanche, ladies and gentlemen, literally trying to convince America that Donald Trump is the victim.
New criminal charges against a leading perceived critic of President Trump. You may remember a judge threw out a previous indictment accusing former FBI Director James Comey of lying to Congress. Now, the Justice Department asserts this photo that Comey posted online threatened the president. 86 is a slang term. It can refer to getting rid or canceling something, and Trump is the 47th president. Comey denies that he was threatening the president and released this video message.
Well, they're back. This time about a picture of seashells on a North Carolina beach a year ago. And this won't be the end of it. But nothing has changed with me. I'm still innocent. I'm still not afraid. And I still believe in the independent federal judiciary. So let's go.
Only on CBS Mornings, acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche joins us. Mr. Blanche, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have proof that the former FBI director knowingly and willfully threatened the life of the president?
Okay. All right. You ready, ladies and gentlemen? Light, because Donald Trump is watching, right? Todd Blanche, lights, camera, action. Let's go. Do you have proof? Now, this is a yes or no.
Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche joins us. Mr. Blanche, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have proof that the former FBI director knowingly and willfully threatened the life of the president?
The grand jury indicted Mr. Comey yesterday. Grand juries hear evidence. That evidence is not something that anybody can talk about today. But when you talk about whether proof exists, the proof that we have is in the fact that the grand jury returned an indictment. Remember.
Okay. The proof that we have is that a grand jury returned an indictment. See, this is
anybody can talk about today. But when you talk about whether proof exists, the proof that we have is in the fact that the grand jury returned an indictment. Remember.
How many of you agree with that? Because I just got to put this out here. And this Todd, again, you forgot that Donald Trump has also been indicted by grand juries. So that logic would conclude Donald Trump is obviously guilty of every single crime, including the ones that Fonnie Willis, remember her, Fonnie Willis and Nate Wade, Lovebird, that indicted your daddy? You're basically confessing to everybody, Todd, that Donald Trump is a criminal and that Biden had real legitimate cases.
That is not the Department of Justice charging James Comey with a crime. That is a grand jury returning a 2-count indictment.
2 counts?
Let's do a compare and contrast, Mr. Blanche. In 2022, someone well known in right-wing circles, Jack Poskovic, posted on X, 8646. He did not take it down. He did not apologize. Mr. Comey has done both of those things. The Biden Justice Department never prosecuted him. By the standard of that grand jury, Jack Poskovic should face charges as well.
Correct.
Will the Justice Department pursue that case? Because they sound very similar.
That's just completely not true. That's not how a grand jury does its work. They don't just look at a single image and then say, okay, yes, we'll indict, or okay, no, we won't indict. They do an investigation. This conduct took place in May of last year, May 15th. It has been almost a year.
Wow.
I assure you, the FBI, the Secret Service, and the U.S. Attorney's Office have not been sitting around doing nothing. They have been investigating.
I gotta stop you, Todd. Todd. Between you and Cash Patel, do you all understand you're doing a terrible job in this movie Donald Trump is that he's directing? He's starring and directing in a movie, and you too, by your incompetence, continue to make him look worse. The obvious answer, WVIP, Todd, you're already in trouble. You're already in this mess, Todd. You have to say, yes, we're going after Jack Posobiec too. Now, whether you do it or not is irrelevant. You just got to say it. You have to say things like, well, maybe, you know what, we should. But the fact that you can't do that, you are making this scene that Trump is organizing and directing, he's orchestrating and directing, you're making it look unbelievable, Todd.
No idea whether there was an investigation into the other times that post has been made and whether that investigation yielded different results. This investigation that we undertook resulted in a 2-count indictment. So you cannot compare, well, what happened last time, what happened this time. Every investigation is different. You know that. The American people know that. A lot of factors going into go into whether somebody should or should not be charged. The mere fact that there's a similar photo posted or similar statement made, that's true every day.
And you got to give it to CBS. They literally are showing you, Todd, the criminal that you need to go get. You got to go get Jack. Todd, if you want me, I'm going to just be honest with you, Todd. If you want me to believe James Comey, because I don't even like Comey like that. I think he missed a lot of great opportunities in what he did to Hillary Clinton. You know, I don't even like him like that. But if you want to convince me that James Comey was really going after Trump, you have to get this guy, Jack Posobiec. He's got to be. What is his value to the Trump administration at this point? All right, but see, you don't take your job serious. You're not following Donald Trump's orders with the script, and so you can't have the job as Attorney General. Not like this.
Comments made about President Trump, threats made against President Trump. Every one of those are not indicted. It depends on the facts of every case.
Mr. Blanche, you lived this history much more than I did, but I'm going to paraphrase what you said about the hush money case that was brought in New York. You said at the time, supposedly serious people were bringing unserious charges and warping the language and the facts and the law because there was a political imperative beyond that. Are you telling the American people this morning that this is a serious case and this is a serious set of charges and that laws and facts are not being warped to carry out a political agenda?
Look at the indictment. That's not for me to decide. That's for the American people to decide. And if anybody in this country thinks, especially what happened over the past couple years with respect to President Trump, that it is okay for anybody to threaten the President of the United States, that it is okay to threaten the President of the United States and then have the media or others say, well, that's not serious, then we have a bigger problem than I even imagined in this country. Of course it's serious when you threaten the President of the United States, and anybody that tries to put forward some narrative that this is just about seashells or something to the contrary is missing the point. You cannot threaten the President of the United States. That's not my decision. That's Congress's decision in a law that they passed. And so, yes, of course this is a serious case.
Mr. Blanche, did the President of the United States in any way direct you to pursue this matter?
Of course not. Absolutely, positively not. And there's no suggestion that that's the case that happened. And the fact that we're doing our work, this is not something that just happened the past couple of weeks.
Really?
This is something that has been investigated for nearly a year now. And the results of that investigation is a grand jury returned an indictment.
Critics of you and this administration, Mr. Blanche, have suggested this is an audition to become the nominee to be Attorney General, is it?
I don't even know what that means.
What? You don't even know what the word audition means, Todd Blanche? Come on. You are missing easy scoring opportunities. You're missing. Come on, you can't fumble when it comes to stuff like this. You got to have better and more clever responses than that. Everybody knows, Todd Blanche, you're auditioning to be the Attorney General. We all know this. We all know you're willing to smell that diaper. But why, when you get in front of the camera, do you all of a sudden get cold feet and act like you are not a Trump loyalist? It just really stinks to high heavens.
Is a grand jury returned an indictment.
Critics of you and this administration, Mr. Blanche, have suggested this is an audition to become the nominee to be Attorney General, is it?
I don't even know what that means. We work hard every single day. The Department of Justice returns over 100 indictments across this country every single day, making this country safe. And so this narrative, this idea out there that somehow I'm auditioning, I've worked with President Trump for many, many years. I don't audition for this job. I've been the Deputy Attorney General for over a year. Okay, this is not an audition.
And you are confident this case will result in a conviction?
I do not comment on convictions, and no prosecutor ever should. What I'm confident about is that there's been a 2-count indictment returned, and Mr. Comey will get his day in court.
Todd Blanche, Acting Attorney General. Thank you.
Todd Blanche, Acting Attorney General. That's why I say it's really the Trump show, midterm crisis scene after scene, starring Donald Trump and his co-conspirators. How many of you believe Todd Blanche is doing a great job auditioning to be the Attorney General? Uh-oh, look at that. We got reported. Hold on. We got reported. Now I got it. Hold on, bear with me. Big Zeus got to take a photo. I got to take a photo of this because, see, they don't think it's happening. Okay, hold on, bear with me. But I'm going to still move forward the way that I want it to. All right, there you go. Okay, we got that. All right, so now since you all are upset with me because I'm blowing the lid off of this acting situation that we have to deal with, yeah. Hold on. We go. Okay, there we go. Okay, you got to click that off. You know, they do a bunch of hater moves. I call that a hater move. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire, ladies and gentlemen, because we gotta send Todd Blanche straight to hell for a terrible acting job. You and Kash Patel are honestly hurting Donald Trump's poll numbers. And I shouldn't even say that because now that I said that, right, you could go run back to your White House meeting and, you know, do things to try to get you out of the picture and then try to bring it back. I shouldn't have said that, but I'm actually giving you the game away. But you don't have the rest of the game, right? Let's go ahead and send Todd Blanche and Kash Patel straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W. Zeus. Now, so that's the Trump show update from where I'm at now. And I know there's a lot more. I know Pete Kegsbreath is supposed to be testifying today in front of Congress. Rick. Hey, by the way, Rick is one of the most hated mods that I have. And so if you are a Trump supporter out there and you run across Rick in the comment section, I'm just going to tell you right now, between him and, you know, actually just him today, you better walk on eggshells because he is not playing with you. W's in the chat for Rick, W's in the chat for Ange. I just had to put that out there because we are really at a point now where we've exposed the MAGA demon for what they truly are. Now, this is what Donald Trump is acting so much about, right? This is why he's acting so much. There's really something serious happening out here in the world right now. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about this. If you're Donald Trump, what would you rather do? Would you rather focus on the Hollywood productions or would you rather talk about this? Let's see. Here it goes. How many of you know what this is? How many of you know what this is? What does it say? What is it saying right there? I should hit play. But I don't want to give you nightmares, MAGA. I don't want to give you nightmares, but maybe I should. Because imagine, he's in the White House cranking out these movie scenes, and when you go out here in the real world, you gotta deal with this.
This morning, Americans nationwide are feeling a major pinch at the pump.
This is ridiculous.
Oh,
$4.25 for regular.
Regular gas prices surging to their highest levels in nearly 4 years as negotiations to end the war between the U.S. and Iran remain deadlocked. The average cost for a gallon of regular now stands at nearly $4.23. A big blow to American wallets already under pressure.
So $3.89. Went over to Harris Teeter, saw $4.19. Why not save a little bit of money?
Out west, drivers seeing the highest overall prices, with a gallon of gas exceeding $5 in several states. While in California, prices are averaging nearly $6 a gallon.
True.
$6.59 for 87.
Wow.
Experts warn the timing couldn't be worse, with the summer travel season just weeks away.
Americans are probably reevaluating their summer travel plans, which could actually further drive gasoline prices up.
The spike as officials struggle to reach a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route for global oil.
And it could eventually lead to gas prices that could approach or set new records.
And even if it reopens soon, industry experts anticipate gas gas prices to continue rising.
Did you guys catch that? Even if it reopens, experts are saying
is $4.50 on.
That could approach or set
you
new
catch
records.
And even if it reopens soon, industry experts anticipate gas prices to continue rising.
Did you see that? They're going to continue to rise. Think about this. And Dame, no, you can't say anything because you drive a Tesla, and you're out here selling your followers down the river with no paddle. You are literally supporting high gas prices in 2026. That's crazy. I never thought I would hear and see real, true Trump loyalists happy to spend money on gas prices. And I haven't even talked about the grocery prices.
Is $4.50 on average in the coming weeks.
I do think there will be tightness for at least the coming year plus.
Rising jet fuel prices are driving up airfares too, with some airlines already cutting flights ahead of the busy summer season.
Christine, another big story, the Federal Reserve meeting today.
Oh, look at that. Slim Icy. Slim Icy. Did you just put that in my comment section, Slim Icy? All right. And I had a feeling you would do that. And so here's something MAGA needs to understand right now. And then we're going to get straight to judgment. We're going to get straight to judgment. Here you go. Maybe Slim Icy didn't know this. Did you read this? Can you read this, Slim Icy? Let's see. Hold on. Can you read that? It says, the economy better under Trump or Biden. You can see it, right? There you go. Here it goes. There you go. Can you see it now, Slim Icy? All voters, 52% of Americans think Joe Biden did better with the economy. Even 65% of the independents. You can look at the numbers. This is a recent poll. Think about that. My, oh my, how the tables have turned. Look at that. W's in the chat for Joe Biden. W's in the chat for him. And so what we'll do this morning is, because Slim Icy, you don't care. You love giving Donald Trump your money, and they're going to continue to go up. All right? So this means Donald Trump is actually going to have, remember this day, bookmark this page. Donald Trump is going to have higher gas prices than Joe Biden. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the Lake of Fire. You couldn't have directed a better movie starring Donald Trump and his co-conspirators. That it should be called Operation Increased Cost of Living on Americans, right? Starring Donald Trump and his co-conspirators. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell. And that's a huge, as far as I'm concerned, ladies and gentlemen.
Is any of that realistic?
That's a huge W, Zeus, all right? And again, I get these W's, and I don't even try to get them. I just literally, I wake up every morning and I say, every single day, Donald Trump and his supporters, they wake up with new ways, new strategies to try to just rob the American people blind, all right? Now, we're going to check in real quick, and then we're going to open up the boxes, all right? Now, what do I want to check in with? I knew this was going to be happening. Let's see what Secretary of War Crimes Pete Kegsbreath is doing right now real quickly, and then we'll open up the boxes, because we don't got all morning to do this. This is easy to do. All right, here he goes right here in front of Congress. W, Chris.
But the guy keeps saying, inconceivable, when things happen. And finally, the guy says to him, you keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means. I don't think we know what the word realism means. So please, can we not have the realism conversation? Let's have the conversation about what the strategy actually is. And I'm sure you have a different definition of it than I do. But as I look at it, the strategy seems to be to use as much violence, as much threats, as much coercion as possible to bend the world to our will. I think that is a very dangerous strategy, because one of the oldest cliches in the military is the enemy gets a vote. And we may think that we can stand up and talk tough and talk about how strong we are and how we're burying our enemies and they're begging for a deal. We can do that all day long, all right? But the enemy gets a vote. They don't have to do what we tell them to do. And meanwhile, that coercive, violent strategy undermines our credibility in the world, because the chairman is absolutely right. And this is one area where I strongly disagree with the folks on the far left who say that we don't really face any threats, that the U.S. is a malign influence in the world and always has been. I don't agree with that. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, variety of other transnational terrorist groups, including, yes, narco-terrorists and human traffickers over here. They all are trying to weaken us, all right? They don't want a rules-based order. They want to play by their own rules. They want to push us aside.
Just show me the demon.
We want to be the side that stands up for the rules. But if what we're saying to the rest of the world is stick with us because we're a better bully than China, we coerce countries more effectively, that undercuts the very message we're trying to spread to build the coalition we need to be successful. I also worry about the values that we're showing the world. When the president threatens to kill off an entire civilization, that is the message coming out of the United States of America. If we are going to be this big, powerful force that throws our weight around the world wants to know at a minimum that we're doing it for the right reasons and with a sense of values to protect people, not to destroy entire civilizations. And we all hear that and we all go, well, gosh, he probably doesn't mean it. Well, that is so reassuring, okay, that he's just making it up. We're supposed to be the United States of America. I grew up on stories of the U.S. at the end of World War II being the country that the Germans wanted to surrender to, not the Russians, because they knew they could trust our values. We don't seem to care about those values. No rules of engagement. Give them no quarter. All right? That is not who we are supposed to be. And just one final point on that, the girls' school that got hit in the first days of this war. There is absolutely no question at this point what happened. We made a mistake, and that happens in war. We identified this target based on earlier charts, and yet 2 months after it happened, we refused to say anything about it, giving the world the impression that we just don't care. We do not care about the casualties and the chaos that is caused by our war, and we should care, even if we want to prosecute that war. Now, I agree with the chairman. We need a strategy. We face the most complex threat environment that we've faced in a very, very long time. So we really want to hear from the administration. Don't give us this realism, chest-thumping stuff. What are we really going to do to meet those threats, to deal with the challenges we face? And I'll close just by saying one of the other ironies of this, of course, is we have a great example in the world right now of what our strategy should be and where our values should be. And that's Ukraine. And I'm really curious, here we are, we roll out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin. We belittle and insult President Zelensky in the White House. He has no cards, right? Well, here we are a year after that. Looks like he had a couple cards to play. Because Ukraine is actually winning against Russia. Ukraine, a sovereign democracy standing up against a brutal, oppressive, coercive dictatorship. And we can't even bring ourselves on a consistent basis to say, we are with Ukraine and we are against what Putin is doing, and stand up and support them. So I want to see that strategy to meet the complex threat environment that we have. But simply saying we've already won and boasting and bragging and trying to belittle and insult the entire world, that's not going to get us to the posture that we need. So I hope we have a conversation about how we can build a strategy that makes sense and is actually realistic. With that, I yield back.
I thank the ranking member for his opening statement. Now I'd like to introduce our witnesses. And we have the Honorable Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, General Dan Kane, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and they are being accompanied by Mr. Jay Hurst, Acting Chief Financial Officer and Comptroller for the Department. I also want to welcome the Secretary's wife, Jennifer. Welcome to our hearing. Glad to have you here with us today. And with that, Ms. Secretary, we'll start with you. You're recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ranking Member Smith, distinguished members of the committee, we appreciate the opportunity to testify in full support of President Trump's historic $1.5 trillion fiscal year 2027 budget request for the Department of War. The president's budget request reflects the urgency of the moment, addressing both the deferment of long-standing problems as well as positioning our forces for both the current and the future fight. We think divesting to invest is a strategy of austerity.
What?
I'm honored to appear alongside General Dan Kane, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, as well as Jay Hurst, our Comptroller, or Chief Financial Officer. I'd like to start by thanking this committee and Congress for your partnership in securing the investments needed for a stronger, prouder, and more secure America. I think what our troops have demonstrated to the world over the last 15 months are a reflection of that. A nation's ability to build, innovate, and support the critical needs of its warfighters at speed and at scale is the foundation upon which its survival rests. However, upon taking office on January 20th, 2025, President Trump inherited a defense industrial base that had been hollowed out by years of America last policies, resulting in a diminished ability to project strength. Under the previous administration, we were focused on offshoring and outsourcing, riddled with cost overruns and degraded capabilities. Under the leadership of President Trump, our builder-in-chief, we are reversing this systemic decay and putting our defense industrial base back on a wartime footing. If you ask anyone at our Pentagon, urgency informs everything we do. We're rebuilding a military that the American people can be proud of, one that instills nothing less than unrelenting fear in our adversaries and the utmost confidence in our allies. We fight to win in every scenario. The $1.5 trillion FY27 budget put forward by the president will build upon the historic $1 trillion FY26 top line and continue to reverse the 4 years of underinvestment and mismanagement of the Biden administration. The $1.5 trillion budget will ensure the United States continues to maintain the world's most powerful and capable military as we grapple with a complex threat environment across multiple theaters. Not to mention, this budget also includes a historic troop pay increase, 7% for lower enlisted, and the budget eliminates all poor or failing barracks. Quality of life for our troops is front and center in this budget as well. By supercharging our industrial capability and transforming how the department does business, we're restoring American commercial dominance at a pace unseen in generations, transforming the defense industrial base from a broken, slow-moving system of the past. We have flipped the Pentagon acquisition process from a bureaucratic model to a business model, 180, decisively moving from an acquisition environment paralyzed by bureaucratic red tape into an outcomes-driven organization focused on delivering the most at cost, at scale for taxpayer dollars. Over the past year, through historic multi-year procurement agreements, smart business deals for things like critical munitions and capabilities, we've sent an unambiguous demand signal to industry partners to build more and build faster. The result has been a surge, a revitalization of our great American factories and a massive reinvestment in the skilled American workers who serve as the industrial muscle behind our warriors. Let me briefly provide you with some concrete high-level metrics of what's been accomplished over just the past few months. These are announced new facilities and investments to support American warfighters, and I would refer you to the screen. The department has helped stimulate more than 250 private investment deals in 39 states, in 180 cities, and 150 companies worth more than $50 billion. It's resulted in 280 new or expanded facilities, more than 18 million new square feet of American manufacturing, and more than 70,000 new jobs in defense. This is the key part of this. These $50 billion of investment in new plants, new assembly lines, and new factories, these are private investments, not taxpayer dollars. By changing our department's, transforming our department's business model, American companies are investing in America with their own money, their own capital, a historic demonstration of American manufacturing and defense revitalization, all again with their capital, not Uncle Sam's. This has never been done before and is long overdue. From a bureaucratic model to a business model, anyone on the outside looking in at what's been done inside this Pentagon in the last 12 months cannot deny the fundamental transformation at speed, at scale, to innovate and meet the threats of today and tomorrow. These investments equal great things for America, American families, and American workers, and help to ensure that our warfighters are able to defend the American dream and all American made. Together with the help of the policy updates and appropriations passed by Congress, President Trump's War Department has begun to turn the lights back on in manufacturing towns across this country, and once again, forging a lethal arsenal of freedom. Where critical supply chains are threatened, the War Department has acted decisively to inject capital, stimulate production, and prevent adversarial exploitation. We are firing up the American economic engine and at every level of our defense industrial base. Every policy we pursue, every budgetary item we request serves to ensure the department remains laser focused on increasing lethality and survivability of our forces from the front lines to the factory floors. This is a historic budget, as you said, Mr. Chairman. This is a fiscally responsible budget. This is a warfighting budget. And speaking of warfighting, the topic of Iran, I'm sure will come up today, which I very much welcome discussing. I look forward to sharing the incredible successes of our military, achieved in a matter of weeks. President Trump, unlike other presidents, has had the courage to ensure Iran never gets a nuclear weapon, and he's ironclad in that. We had the best negotiator in the world driving that deal. The biggest challenge, the biggest adversary we face at this point are the reckless, feckless, and defeatist words of congressional Democrats and some Republicans 2 months in, I remind you, 2 months in to a conflict. Lest I remind you, and my generation understands how long we were in Iraq, how long we were in Afghanistan, how long we were in Vietnam. 2 months in on an existential fight for the safety of the American people, Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb. We are proud of this undertaking. I am proud that President Trump has had the courage to do it, and I look forward to sharing more about what our troops have accomplished. So I thank you again for the opportunity to address this committee. I ask that God would continue to watch over our troops in harm's way, and those that have fallen are always in our memory, and we fight to ensure their legacy. Look forward to answering the questions of this committee.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and give Pete Hicks, Keg's Breath, a huge round of applause. Oh, did you? I don't know how he was able to keep the alcohol contained, and because I think he had something clear in those plastic bottles. But Pete, $1.5 trillion, bro, and you blew the first bag we gave you, and look at where we're at right now. We're in a stalemate with Iran, and yeah, Ukraine is winning against Russia without the United States helping. Pete, I'm not convinced that you know what you're doing, and there's just no way I could actually see giving you more money to keep doing what you've been doing. And then I like how you blame the Democrats, Pete, for losing the war. Did you hear what he just said? He said it's the congressional Democrats and some Republicans who are criticizing him. They're the reason that he is losing the war. I said, oh my gosh. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send this drunkard where he truly, truly belongs. Because Pete Keg's Breath, you're losing the war because you're incompetent and you don't know what the heck you're doing. That's why you underestimated Iran. Let's go ahead and send him straight to hell. You don't know what you're doing, bro.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I really wanted him to say stuff like, ever since this war has started, I've just had record number of people that are in MAGA registering and enlisting, and we're about to put boots on the ground. I know it looks terrible, but we're about to put boots on the ground and bring daddy's oil prices down. That's what I thought he was going to say. And everything else to me was just basically him trying to blow smoke up my you-know-what, W. Zeus. If you're not talking, listen, Pete, if you're not talking about getting Trump supporters to enlist and put boots on the ground in Iran, you're failing. Those are the people you have to get involved in this conflict. You have to convince people, all right? Even people like DJ. He's an older boomer looking dude, but you know what? You got to make DJ want to go to war, all right? He does a lot of this. They do a lot of this on social media, but as soon as you say, hey, why don't you lace up those boots and get on over there and, risk your life? You might unalive in that country too. You tell them that, they'll be like, you know what? No. I'm okay. I'm okay arguing with Zeus and the Democrats about gas prices, right? Because they don't want that smoke. Yes, in Vegas, girl, too. All right, let's open up the boxes, ladies and gentlemen, and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. No lies detected. Before we go, do we have any Trump voters out there? Anybody out there supporting Donald Trump and likes the way the country's going? Please identify yourselves in the comment section. I just want to let you know before you come up, there are hungry sharks in the water. All right. And when I say that, that means the people who watch me and hold me accountable, they allow me to get away with being the nice guy. And also because, the way TikTok is, I cannot be nice for some strange reason. But if you get up on this show and you start lying, those sharks that are in the water listening to it, I'm telling you, they will tear you to shreds. W to all the sharks in the water. Put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, you are mean for me. Yeah, you're right, JD Cakes. And you know what? Initially, I was kind of like, oh, don't do that. But, where we're at right now, after I've seen some of the most horrible things and heard some of the most horrible, disgusting stuff, the main thing right now is like we have a viewer out here. She claims that she's from Las Vegas. I'm not going to mention her name. Who said Vegas? But I just can't get over the fact that she literally blames women for being SA'd by Republican men only, especially MAGA men. She blames the women every single time, and it doesn't matter what their age is. They could be, underage. She'll still blame them and defend Donald Trump, but let it be a Democrat, let it be a black person. They're instantly guilty in her mind. And that's why I say when I interact with these folks, sometimes I go, do you understand when you interact with people who are on the right, they're starting off in a position of weakness. And they go, well, what do you mean by that, Zeus? And I said, well, I got to keep saying it because it's necessary. They are inherently, and they haven't done the work around it, right? Racist and misogynist, right? So if you at least express that to them, hey, you need to work on that, they get super defensive, right? And then you go a little further to the right, and then you get up in that sedition territory. We go, what do you mean sedition, Zeus? You know what you did on January 6th. Case closed. You can try to say Nancy Pelosi did this and that, but everybody that is above the age of 18, you're responsible for your own actions, right? So if you found yourself at the Capitol on January 6th, then you made a decision to go there. And I guarantee you, if I were to ask you, did Nancy Pelosi invite you to go to the Capitol on January 6th? Your answer, if you're being honest, it would have to be no. But then if I were to say, well, did Donald Trump invite you? Your answer, if you were being honest, would have to be yes. So that's why I say you got a spirit of sedition inside of you. And then if you go a little more to the right, guess where you end up? You end up in that Epstein territory. Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of you men out there, and even conservative women, you are okay with the fact that Donald Trump still is not obeying the law and releasing the rest of the files, over 3 million files. And a lot of those files that he hasn't released have his name in it. You're okay with that. Make that make sense. Okay? So that's why I say, so it's misogyny and racism, it's sedition, and it's the Epstein stuff. And if you go further to the right, guess where we end up? We end up in the warmonger category. I didn't know a lot of you were warmongers, but you are. You are. And so that's what MAGA represents. And they refuse to be honest with the American people. Yeah, no new wars. That's what they told us, but then they went and voted for it. Oh, we have a problem with criminals. Well, you really took that you took that off the chessboard, so to speak. That you took that piece off the table when you voted for a criminal. How many of you are proud that you voted for a criminal? Raise your hands. How many of you out there are proud that you voted for a criminal? Look at him. Look at him. Remember they had the shirts? I voted for a convicted felon. I wish. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. You literally proudly said that. You remember you said we have a mandate, and that's grinder talk. I get it now, but they're real quiet right now, and rightfully so. All right, let's go ahead. I literally gave them an opportunity to get on up here and explain why they're still supporting Donald Trump, and they refused to do it. Which just tells you how undefeated that I am. Good morning, Q Dog. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
Oh man, yeah, you called me yesterday.
Yeah,
it wasn't a MAGA, but I was baptizing a demon.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Rightfully so.
But you know that work never stops.
Thanks.
No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hypocrisy that these people they want to do the blame game. They don't never want to admit that they're wrong. And even if it's staring them in the face, no matter what. Trump's going to tell you what he's going to do, when he's going to do it, how he's going to do it. And you still think, oh, well, he's just, he's here for us. Help me understand that. Dame, are you still being conflicted? They told it to your face. Tony told it to your face on his live. And you still wanted to, well, that's still my buddy.
My buddy.
He told you to his face, to your face. And you still jumping the broom for folks like him and Trump but here's the catchphrase. Well, I really don't support Trump. Yes, you do.
You can't get around it.
Because if you did not, you would not be on here day after day after day trying to convince folks that are against what Trump is doing. And Cash Patel, you want to talk about folks threatening Trump, this and that and the other. What about threatening the American people? Are you going to put ICE in prison for murdering innocent American people? I don't hear. Where DJ at?
Go ahead.
Where's DJ at?
Air it out, Q-Dog.
We already know where Tiny Tank Top Tim is. We done sent him to the depths of hell. He ain't coming back. That's why you don't see him on here anymore.
Oh, he's hiding in the shadow. He knows I better not see him right now. With his
Yeah. They'll come up with new pages and so forth, just like the one I sent you. If you so against the Snuggles, why are you sending me DMs? If you don't like me and Zeus, why are you sending me DMs, Snuggles? Make it make sense.
Wow.
Y'all have an infatuation with people that like myself and Zeus and Nutty and Shay and
all in the DMs.
Kakisha. You have a real fetish. That's the reason why you're really here. You hear every day.
You said fetish? That's crazy. You think they got
well, I let me save the word fetish for Vegas girl. We know why she here. Oh, I'm happily married, but you on a man's live every day while your husband gone to work.
Flesh and blood did not reveal that to you, Q-Dog. And again, I used to be the love guru. I did, but I had to give that up because we got a higher calling right now. So no, ladies.
Oh, we still maintain the love, bro. You still the love guru. I'm still the sexiest on TikTok. we gonna still do our thing when it comes to that,
Yeah.
making sure that folks
Well,
are
he
loving
is.
each other every
Yeah.
day.
Well,
Now,
the good
yeah,
love.
for all y'all demons that want to continue to hate and dislike folks, but still be in their lives every day, you go right here and do what you're gonna do, because that's the reason why that man has a blue check mark on his live as of today.
Hey man, Q-Dog, because they create so many fake accounts. They create fake accounts. They do all these things, and they think it actually makes me, suffer more. But what I'm finding out is they're actually promoting me. And I said, wow. TikTok said we got to figure out who the real Zeus is. If you want to know who the real Zeus is, now you know.
One thing, the difference between me and you, Zeus, I keep my page private for various reasons. You already know, and some of the folks on TikTok knows. But the ones that's lurking around trying to figure out, who's that creeping in my window? Hey, that's a little song that my frat brothers always sing when we got outsiders trying to look in, trying to figure out what's going on.
Facts.
When you ain't invited to the cookout.
Facts.
So we gonna keep you right where you at in your little cheap seats with the binoculars, figuring out what we doing, and we're gonna continue this train.
Thank you.
And we're not gonna let you on at any stop.
Fair enough.
We just gonna bring on the people that are willing to come on and help make this place a better place to live. Because a lot of folks out here.
They know I'm right.
That want to take off to Thailand, and that's all great and dandy, but you don't know what's over there in Thailand. You just see from the video, you just like you're on TikTok, trying to figure out what's going on over there. Ooh, it looks great.
Thank you.
But when you get over there, it's another story. So we gonna rectify and change what's going on in our home.
Amen. All right, Q.
And we ain't gonna stop.
All right, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give huge round of applause. No lies detected.
No doubt. Hey, do me a huge favor before I drop Zeus. Bring Santana up if he's still in here, because I ain't heard from my brother in a while, and I know he got a message for us out here.
If I see him, I'll bring him. I don't see Santana.
No doubt.
He likes to dip in and out, like a burger. But if he do send a request, we get him up here.
No doubt, bro.
All righty
Salute
then.
to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. W's in the chat for Q-Dog. You see? No lies detected. All right. Good morning, Z-Pac. Welcome to the show. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing?
Well, I got shot again.
Oh.
I got shot again.
Oh, you did.
And you might as well call me Tupac. I'm doing fantastic. I've done a fantastic. We need ballroom, and we need that now. I've got little balls and no room.
No, that's a good one.
Unbelievable.
Well, think about that. Did you? So you said again. The problem is no one believes any of this. Are you aware? Like, you see this picture right there of yourself? You see that?
I don't know what that's a fantastic photo, right?
Yeah, that's you in the background. And I'm just so curious. This White House thing was staged. What was going through your mind when you were peering through that curtain? What was going through your mind, honestly?
Well, it was very frightening because, there were 5 different people coming after me. And it was a massive, horrific situation.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I'm barely alive.
Wow.
They were crying. People were crying.
Yeah.
They had tears in their eyes. Excuse me.
Oh, look at that. Are you okay? It sounds like you're in a pretty dangerous area.
I almost got hit by a car. It's crazy.
You almost got hit by a car? It's like everywhere you go, something bad is almost happening to you. Are you literally okay?
It was about 5 feet away from me, but I'm okay. I almost got hit. It was about 5 feet.
Why are you always in danger? Seriously. I mean, isn't it time to just kind of sit your behind down and, retire and spend time with your family? Like, why are you putting yourself in the United States of America in so much danger?
Well, it's a very interesting question. A lot of people have asked me about it, but I think that I'm happy where I am. I do so well for the people. We've ended the war and opened the straight people, and we've done fantastic with that. And so we're doing
Which war
a lot
did you
better.
end? By the way, I didn't write that down. Which war did you
We ended the Iraq war, but then we said, hold on, we have to do Iran real quick, but that's okay. We're
Oh.
going to do that,
Oh, okay.
and then we're going to end it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 4 weeks since it's been ended.
Okay,
Wow.
okay. Well, the funny thing about that is that's not the war I was thinking you ended. I thought you were talking about the Iran war, not the Iraq war. That's been gone, right? So it just seems to me like you're so confused about what's really happening. And
I think we're doing tremendous over there.
Yeah.
They said I ran for president.
Okay.
I ran.
Yeah,
I did ran.
But one of the biggest issues that I got right now is like, listen up, Mike, and you have people out here like Snuggles and Wildman Grinder 69. Did you know about these people? They are happy about these gas prices being sky high. My groceries are sky high. When are you going to bring them down? Honestly, and I don't want to hear about Joe Biden.
Well, the gas is actually very inexpensive. It's, we've done a good job with having it there, but we're working on bringing it back down. And we got barrels for nothing. You could buy a barrel for $2. It's unbelievable. But that's what we're doing. And, you really should be asking Obama, okay? You should be asking Obama why the gas is so high. 47 years of nothing, okay? And I come in and I blow it up, okay? And we did blow it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes Melania says I blow up the bathroom with gas, but I did a great job with the other gas.
I don't need to hear about that, honestly. Enough, sir. All right, knock it off. Silence. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, WZ Pop. Sorry, we just had to do that. I haven't heard from him in a while. I didn't hear from you. All right, we're switching gears now. Z-Pac, are you there?
Yes,
Okay,
I have kicked him.
Give him a round of applause. We every now and then we get to spar like that, so to speak.
Yeah, I had to kick him because he was starting to do his dementia thing again, and I couldn't do it anymore. The poor guy, it's at this point it's elder abuse, but he looks at me and he winks.
Yeah.
He left the room and he winked.
Yeah, he did.
He thought he did good on that one.
Yeah.
So
no, he did.
We're really
good.
gonna have to look into that.
He did good. He did good. The part about the peering out of the curtain, all of that, I really think he did a great job. But yeah, the dementia does kick in, and then he goes off the rails. There's a CBS interview that they said they left out. There's part of it that they left out. Did you hear about this? The one that he did on 60 Minutes after the White House.
Sure.
Yeah, they said he
I'm
left
sure.
out. There's certain parts of it that have been left out, and so now they're going, oh, it's like what happened to Kamala.
Well, I'm sure that it was all very favorable things that were left out, right?
Yeah.
Very,
Why would you ask that? I knew you would ask that.
He does that thing.
Yeah.
Where, he's like, oh, they thought you were talking about you. That was a great line.
Yeah.
By the way,
the way that Nora, flipped it back on him and was like, hey, I wasn't really mentioning you when I was talking about
oh,
that.
you thought they were talking about you.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah.
What did he say? I'm not a
Sorry.
P3DO. I'm not a rapist. I mean, like, okay, bro.
I'm not a pedo at all.
Get out of here, Donald.
Yeah. If you want to mention it, go ahead and say it. Epstein, I had nothing to do with him. Why would you even mention that? You're such a disgrace.
Is that your Trump? That's getting better.
It reminded me of I want to say Batman in a way, but it was like the evil Batman.
Oh yeah,
he said it because
yeah, that was like the Batman.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like because he looks like, in my opinion, the Joker, right? He looks like the Joker, but he talks like he's Batman. That's what's so crazy about it. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of things with this. I mean, obviously, I have questions just about why the shooter or pew-pewer was not hit. I did hear about 5 shots, but I didn't see anything. So who was doing the pew-pewing? Was it the Secret Service? Was it was it him? I'm walking.
That is,
I'm out of breath. Sorry.
I did hear. How many of you heard the 5 pew pew sounds on the? Oh, Rick said it's sound effects. Never mind. Okay, I'm done with y'all. I'm done with you guys. I'm
Could
done.
be. It could
I'm
be. I
done.
guess it could be.
I mean, because
But that's the question I have,
Yeah.
because you would think that we would have a formal investigation as to why. Remember how the president, he loves to boast about stuff, and he
Yeah.
doesn't really boast about Butler, and so he doesn't then boast. And thank you everybody for the gifts. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
They love you.
He boasts about Butler. He doesn't really talk about this one either. Weirdly enough, he's in kind of silent. So the question is, why is he silent? Because Donald Trump is one of those guys that he loves talking about shit or stuff. Sorry. He loves talking about, himself and how, everybody was so scared and, he's a hero. But it's interesting to me that he hasn't talked about it.
Yeah.
And I do apologize. Hold on.
You're in danger once again. I mean, you seem like you're in.
Yeah, another truck almost hit me. It was about 10 feet from me. It's okay.
The last one was 5 feet. So, I don't know what you're doing, bro.
No, I'm just out here getting exercise in. But yeah, no, it's interesting though, because you ask yourself, like, why is it that none of this is being talked about? What does the investigation look like? Why did congressmen that are in the district in Butler, or in Pennsylvania at least, say they have no idea what happened on that day?
Yeah.
So there's still some really weird questions. And one thing I wanted to point out, he said something about the manifesto and it was being read to him. And
it was his words.
Then he claimed that, right. But then did you see what he posted yesterday?
Which one?
Let me show you this.
Oh, you got some evidence. Uh-oh. When you have evidence, ladies and gentlemen, do I need to...
Yeah, so this one right here, it says 2 kings, and it's from the White House account. So he has posted another picture of himself projecting himself as a king. A king. And so, well, he is a kid.
Wow.
But
in the where did you go, Z-Puck?
Sorry about that. It's raining, so the phone gets hit with water.
Okay. Huh.
It's interesting to me that so the question everybody asks, well, we got to tone down the rhetoric. You got to stop calling him a tyrant
He just called
or a
himself
dictator.
a king.
Well, Donald Trump, you need to stop doing that. You got to stop it.
Yeah.
You got to stop posting things like this. And then his people will be like, oh, he's just trolling. And then you wonder then why people write these manifestos, right, saying, I don't like the fact that Donald Trump thinks he's a king. And so that to me is the most hypocritical thing in the world. I mean, toning down the rhetoric is on him.
Correct.
He needs to tone it down. He needs to come out and say, you know what? I'm sorry for cosplaying as a king.
So do you think Donald Trump is a threat to himself? Is that where because that's what I mean.
If he keeps eating Big Macs, he certainly is a threat to himself.
Well, he was speaking yesterday too, and he made a joke to Melania. I don't know if you saw it, about how long their marriage, how far they'll go. Basically, he was calling out the family.
Yeah.
So, they're going after Jimmy Kimmel, and I said, well, when are we going to start seeing him? Because he posted a photo of himself with the pew pew. I mean, he's a threat to himself, and he needs to be indicted for the crimes he's committing against Donald Trump, the sitting president of the United States. If we're going to play this game the way that they're saying it needs to be played, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that's doing all the things.
Yeah.
He's the one that's making. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, listen up. We're going to move it on.
I'm on a busy street here.
We're going to move it on, but we're going to give you a round of applause, and thank you for checking in with us, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, Z.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the gifts, guys.
Yeah, they love you. They love you. Wow. W's in the chat for Z. And stay out of the street, bro. All right. Who do we got out there, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. Oh, it wouldn't be a show. I got to go get a sound effect for when you come up, Takesha, because every time you come up, I think about Tupac's song, "Ain't Nothing But a Gangsta Party." Ain't nothing but a gangsta. You remember that? You remember how that? You know what happens when that part?
Ain't nothing but a gangsta party. Ain't nothing but a gangsta party. It ain't nothing but a mother gangsta party.
All right, man. Don't take me back to my backslide days. Don't take me to my backslide days. You know, back then I was doing the moonwalk for the devil. Now I'm doing the running man for the Lord. Yeah.
You can't ask for nothing. You blessed and highly favored the way you put that together like that. That's amazing. Thank you, Takesha.
Listen, Zeus. Peakhead says the size of Peakhead says how slicker than Donald Trump think he is. I looked at Pete. I said he must be going to audition to be Danny Zuko in Greece. Now he need to take some of that darn grease outside here.
He's trying to look cute while he do it, you know? That's all.
He's sitting there telling all them lies, Zeus. That's what he doing, Zeus. He gonna get caught up so bad like a fish in a net. And he gonna be looking just as stupid as he always looks, Zeus.
Wow, so you ain't buying nothing he was selling, huh? He's trying to get a 1.5 trillion of them things. Did you notice that? He's trying to get some more money out of this.
They want so much money, but the troops over there eating beanie weenies. Weenies one day and beanies the next. They need to quit playing, man. Keep telling me something. We done won this war. Our troops are doing great. When did we win? Why are we still there?
Remember, we've had Trump voters on this show when the war started. They said they'd stop supporting them. You know, if this thing got dragged out, so to speak, and Americans started losing their lives. But ain't it funny?
Did you believe it? I'm being honest. Did you believe that, Zeus?
Okay, let's ask the chat because I need a lifeline. How many of us believed MAGA when they said that they would, stop supporting Donald Trump if this thing dragged out? Oh, Natalie, you did? Wow. Okay, W's in the chat for Natalie. Okay, but I can't hold that against you. I really can't because, but thank you for your honesty.
Let me give you an example of why we can't believe nothing MAGA say. If I find out Trump naming them Epstein files, that's it for me. Naming the Epstein files. If I find out somebody accused him, that's it for me. He got accused. Well, they ain't got no proof, Zeus. Just wait till we get some proof. Yeah. And then it wasn't just DJ. It was all of them, Zeus. They changed just like a poor winging. And I just can't be bothered, Zeus.
Wow. W's in the chat for Takesha. They really, Takesha, let's be honest. They really want Donald Trump to stop getting worse. They really do. They're hoping that this is the last time they got to fall on the sword, so to speak, for Donald Trump over something like this.
Zeus, this administration and the people that support it get sillier and sillier as the attacks. Zeus, I thought about Erica Kirk.
Oh.
When she said, I just want to go home. Maybe she had to click them heels 3 times. Glenda the Good Witch would have came and granted her home, Zeus. All she had to do was say, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And she would have been there.
Yeah, I've seen that. Wizard of Oz.
Because that's what I feel like. We in the land, Zeus, we in the land of munchkins. See the I told you this before. MAGA is on the yellow brick road. They think Donald Trump is the Wiz. The whole time he behind this curtain moving machinery. But they thinking he this great and powerful Oz. Until somebody pull that curtain back and they see the real Trump. They gonna keep believing in the Wizard of Oz.
Ain't that
That's
sad?
MAGA's problem. They believe in the Wizard of Oz. We done already been behind the curtain, and they still waiting to look behind the curtain. But they scared to look behind the curtain because they really don't want to know what's behind that curtain. That's MAGA.
Wow. W's in the chat. So some of them need a brain, and some of them need a heart, and some of them need some courage. Is that kind of what you're trying to say to me?
And you can't win. You can't break it, and then you can't stay out of the game. Foolishness.
Yeah. Well,
they all looking for something on that yellow brick road.
They need to put it down now that you say it like that, because they might end up taking something that their body can't handle, and they could have an allergic reaction. If you know
You remember when that snow came down and the lion fell asleep and Dorothy and them had to try to wake the lion up?
yeah.
Yeah, it's too much, Zeus. It's too much. The delusion that Trump to put on them to made them fall asleep.
Yep.
And we trying to wake them up, Zeus, but we ain't able, Zeus. We got other stuff we got to do.
Facts.
So what we gonna do is let them keep sleeping.
Yep.
And we gonna keep being awake.
Facts. No lies detected. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Takesha. I appreciate that, all right, because I'm not feeling bad anymore. Honestly, I don't have the capacity, because I've been asking people, especially this moment right here. How did I get my
Zeus?
This moment right here. I had a nightmare about it yesterday. I did. No, I went to sleep. I woke up. I was putting somebody in a headlock for him. I said, wait a second. Why am I putting Secret Service in a headlock? And I thought about Trump was watching me the whole time. Like, great job. And I said, wow, this is crazy. Yeah.
I told Handsome Liberal yesterday, Secret Service can't do nothing with Donald Trump. They can't do nothing with him. Because who gonna let somebody peek out the curtain that they done had to rush off the stage?
Yeah.
Them folk can't do nothing with Donald Trump. They just there. They just there in the way. So he gonna do exactly what he want to do. Whether they let them folk can't do nothing with Donald Trump, man. You know how you got a child you just can't do nothing with?
Yeah.
They're the Secret Service. They can't do nothing with Donald Trump.
Wow. Yeah, because he's out of shape, overweight, and they can't carry him. And he got the diaper, the vest on. And the part that, when they was trying to carry him out, he just dropped.
He failed.
Yeah, he just couldn't do it. Like, nah, y'all leave me here so that guy can get to me. Because if he gets to me...
I'm surprised he didn't say that he was finna ask Melania for her hand in marriage again. That's why he was on his knees, because, he'll make up anything.
Yeah.
He said he didn't fall, but Zeus, we saw him fall.
Seen him fall, drop like a brick.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Wow.
But that's the liar in chief, so hey, we'll never get the truth out of him.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Takesha.
All right, my friend.
You stay safe out there, all right? Because
you too now.
You're real famous and stuff like that. People be looking for you, all right? And I'll keep an eye on you too, all right? Seriously,
thank you, Zeus. All right.
All right. No lies detected. Y'all give Takesha a huge round of applause. Wow. I mean, when you look at what we're doing on this show, it's incredible. It truly is magical, because even MAGA knows that Donald Trump is just putting on a show for him at this point. He has zero interest in actually doing the job that he was elected to do. He has zero interest. And so now we just have to look at it for what it is. It's elder abuse. I believe everybody in the cabinet, they wake up every day. They know what the job is, but they also understand that really all we're doing is auditioning to keep our position or even take a new position. And so everything you see, it's nothing more. It's nothing more than an act. And so that's why I chose this photo right there. It's difficult, they got the reverse imaging, but this man literally watched this thing unfold. That is psychotic behavior at its finest, and I'm tapped into it. I'm tapped into it like you wouldn't believe. And so from here on out, I'm going to be basically it's a two front thing, at least, maybe more. One is the show, and then the other thing is what's really going on. And just to be fully transparent with you, I don't believe anything Donald Trump is actually showing us is true. All right, moving it along. All right, who do we got next? Miss Suge, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Zeus. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You meant to send this request?
I did.
Okay.
Do I have an echo?
No, I can hear you. You sound kind of like
okay.
It sounds kind of like you got a walkie-talkie, maybe, but outside of that, it's fine.
Yeah, I was on my Bluetooth, so I don't want to annoy people. So I wanted to. What about now?
You're good. No, just say what you got to say.
Okay, I just wanted to come up a second, and I think you were playing Pete. Was that the current hearing today?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to let everyone know. Probably need to pay close attention to that, because there was an NBC article that broke this weekend explaining the war in Iran. Donald Trump and Pete has not been forthcoming with the American people about the things that's going on in Iran.
Yeah, I heard about that. And the damage that the United States military bases has actually taken. I did hear about that, yeah. And that's why I say I don't trust nothing that comes out of the Trump administration. Nothing. I trust what I can experience on my own at this point, and maybe, you can independently verify.
Right. And so the Atlantic has kind of picked up on that investigation as well. I've not been able to read that entire article because I'm not subscribed to that. But what I do see is that Vance is trying to cover his tracks because they know that they've been not being honest with the American people. So he's trying to basically throw Pete up under the bus, and he's trying to keep his reputation.
It's
clean.
not fake news. What she's saying is spot on. I looked into it. Yeah, JD is trying to separate himself and question the intelligence that the DOD or Department of War gave them. I don't know why, but I guess he's positioning himself in the event Trump does get impeached. That he can clean house. That's what I see. You know what I mean?
Yes. So. Yes, and then I just wanted to also tell MAGA, they keep talking about this deal about the military and fighting a World War II fight. This is not a World War II fighting with army tanks and all of that. This war fighting and all this macho talk. It's not how Iran war strategy is, and just because we understand the strategy in Iran does not make us Iran sympathizers. I'm sorry, MAGA doesn't understand the geopolitics. That doesn't make us sympathizers.
So just because I post the videos with the Legos that in the background, that doesn't mean that I'm an Iran sympathizer. Is that what you're saying?
No, that doesn't, because we understand what they're doing.
And I was accused of that, by the way.
I don't understand why the Trump administration doesn't have smart people around them to let them know this war is asymmetrical. I mean, I don't understand it. So they need to get smarter people around them to try to help him get out of this because it's going to hurt the American people in the pocket. That's all I got to say.
Okay,
Zeus.
W, Miss
You have a good day.
You too, thank you. And you came in real clear at the end. I don't know what you did differently, but that was the difference, all right?
All right.
Thank you. Some little farm you wrote, I sympathize with Iran. Yeah. How many, okay, let's just do this real quick. How many of you trust the United States government as of today? Put a 1 in the chat if you trust the United States government. Let me see. Anyone out there trust the United States government? Put a 1 in the chat. You see that demon right there? Snuggles. Mount Negro, you do? Mount Negro, come on now. You know you're supposed to not put a 1. You don't trust. All right, so W's in the chat for every one of you except Snuggles. So when you got to go get your information, you know how we all get it. Turns out sometimes Iran gets it right. I don't always trust what Iran is saying, but they get it a lot more accurate than Donald Trump. All right, good morning, Natalie. Welcome to the show. Beautiful, Natalie. How are you doing?
Hi. Well, I got a lot of hate for being in your panel last time, so I figured I'd come up here and give my opinion since it seems like all the Republicans, or should I say MAGA, because MAGA's not Republican. It's like a little high school clique, Yeah. So they're two different things. Okay. Which thank you to the MAGA that's been calling me a rhino and all this other stuff because I've been buying all kind of tank tops and t-shirts lately that says rhino and traitor and all this other good stuff. So you guys are giving me some great ideas for clothing. But
this is sad.
No, it really is. But the only thing is, if you go back and look after the first attempt, I could see it. Second one,
wait,
kind of whatever.
Wait a second. After the first attempt,
I'm talking about the other night. How you go and scroll, and they're like, "I can't believe the Democrats took another chance at his life." No, I didn't even want to watch it afterwards. My husband came to me, and he's like, did you see what happened? I was like, no. He's like, do you want to watch it? I said, no. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, no. And he's like, why? And I was like, well, the first time, yeah. Second time, third time, no. You know, then it starts getting to where it looks fake. And whoever that Secret Service agent was that was holding the weapon on stage, my 13-year-old son did better than that when he was 5. So you need to learn how to actually correctly hold something if you're going to try to make it look real.
Whoa.
And the fact that they say there were 5 shots shot and you can't hit anything out of 5. Shells are too high nowadays to be sitting there and waste. You know. I don't know. It just you know, they need to look outside the
lost
box.
you, Natalie, on this. They lost you.
Well, Zeus, I've known you on this app for a hot minute. I've never claimed to be MAGA. I'm conservative, and I don't like the fact that it automatically gets put on one party. Oh, it was a Democrat. Not even 2 minutes after it happened, I've been seeing on the app, oh, it was a Democrat. How do you know? A lot of Republicans are pissed off at Trump right now. A lot of them. They're mad about the war that's going on, and you can say that it's not a war, but it came out of Donald Trump's mouth himself that this is a war. So when your own president sits there and says it's a war, what do you expect? I mean, you don't have to wait for Congress to actually declare it a war. They didn't declare Iraq a war, but we know what the hell that was.
Natalie, you're supposed to interpret what Trump means according to the way MAGA operates. Even though he said it is a war, you know you're supposed to do that thing because we have people that I call, you know, they have truth blockers. You know? And what you just did was told the truth. W. Natalie. And the dog even knew it.
My thing is, I don't go by what media says. I like to go and dig my own research. I've always done that. I don't sit there and go with what, oh my gosh, this happened to Donald Trump. And I want to go, no, I'm going to look into it myself. And I strongly advise for anybody that's in here that is on the right, that's probably sitting there going, oh my God, I can't believe she's up here saying this shit. Don't DM me after I get off this live, because I had a lot of DMs the other day going, I can't believe that you sold your soul to Zeus. And I'm like, I have no issue with Zeus. Zeus, you've been on my panels before. I've never had an issue with you. Me and you can have conversations. You know, I'm always open to listen.
They always say that. They always say you sold your soul to Zeus, and they make up all these lies about it. It just turns out that we agree on things here and there, and the truth is the truth. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. It's just sad, honestly. It's really sad. And these are grown men, I suppose, right?
Well, the only thing I ever sold myself to was when I signed that line and swore that oath to the Constitution to actually help and serve the people. And that's why I don't understand how anybody that was in the military can go along with what's going on right now, because it's not helping the American people. It's not our job to liberate other countries when it has nothing to do with us. It's not our job, especially when Trump wanted to pull us out of NATO. But now you're pissed off because other NATO allies are not wanting to back you up.
Wow.
I mean, why do you think they're not wanting to back you up? You wanted to pull them out. You wanted to pull us out. You basically said, go fuck yourself. And now you're wanting them to back you up. And then when they don't, you're wanting to threaten them with, you know, almost like bullying tactic to make them do it.
You kind of use some strong language.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I just W. Natalie though, but you're telling the truth.
It just irritates me on how this country is being done right now, and it's like the majority of the people they don't want to see it. And then they go, well, 71 million people voted for Trump. Yeah, there's still 90 million people that didn't vote. You know, and I strongly advise for anybody to go look on the AIPAC website to see if the Republican if you're a Republican on this page right now, go on the AIPAC website, and whoever is running for midterms, go look and see if they're funded by Israel. I know in my state, the Republican that was running for Senate, he gets money from AIPAC. And I'm like, well, I know who I'm not voting for.
Wow.
You know, I'm not voting for anybody that's pro-Israel and getting funds from them.
You feel
at
that
all.
way. You feel that way very passionately.
I do.
Oh my gosh. I can only imagine, because, you know, a lot of things that I know people who, like, for instance, Snuggie. He doesn't have the courage you have to stand up and say those true words. Did you know that? You're stronger than him. Did you know that?
Well, what Snuggie's got to understand is that this is an app. You can voice your opinion, and I can honestly say, people can say what they want to about Democrats. I've met some really great people on this app that are Democrat, that are I love to hang out and talk to them every day. And it's really sad how I've had threats from both parties, but I've never had anybody come after my personal life until two MAGA Trump supporters came after my children. Democrats never came after me personally. It was people on the right. So
Get
I mean,
out of here.
no, I mean we have a pending court date coming up, so I get to see them in person because it's a felony with what they did.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. People take it way too far, and you can't hate somebody based off their political views. People think Democrats are demons and this and no. If you look at take an actual step back on what's going on right now, the Democratic Party is actually making the most sense right now. And I've said that.
That's it. Show's over. I could get up out of here. Wow. Wow. Okay. Did I tell you to say that, Natalie? Because you know what they.
No.
Okay, W's in the chat for Natalie.
And if any Republicans watching this and you want to DM me with a new nickname you want to give to me, I can go get a shirt made of that too and go wear it in a couple of days.
Yeah, we should do. Go ahead and get that shirt. Go ahead and cook that. I might have to get one of those shirts too. But
Yeah, you need to. It's really fun. And, because the way I look at it, labeling yourself as a MAGA is not paying my bills.
Oh.
It's not getting my husband paid. It's not putting food on the table at my house.
Oh.
You got to actually sit there and look. And my husband works for the oil and chemical companies down here. They're holding their money. Since Trump has become president, they're holding their funds and not wanting to buy out new jobs down here because they don't trust what is going on.
What?
And these are coming from major chemical companies down here in the South.
Oh. Natalie, we were supposed to be in the golden age. This will sound. It doesn't sound like the golden age the way that you're describing it, and it honestly seems like a lot of Trump voters are going to suffer more than they would have ever suffered if, like you said, if a Democrat would have been in charge. Isn't this crazy what you're saying? Do you realize?
Well, my thing is it's all a distraction because my thing is I didn't really have an issue with anything, and then the e-files came out, and there's still millions of files that haven't been released. There's 5,000 files that have been permanently destroyed, should you say. Wow. For what? What was in those 5,000 files, but yet they want to ban AB, but yet you don't care about the children that all this is still happening to.
Wow.
This is still
a
going
slaughterhouse.
on.
This is a slaughterhouse this morning.
But no, Zeus, there's names that are out there. I don't see anybody getting investigated. I don't see anybody getting arrested. I care about children. I do. I care about children. I want people to be held accountable because that's what this whole administration ran on when he ran this last time was transparency. And I don't see any of that right now.
Wow. I mean, Natalie, we have high standards on this show. You got to be able to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. And honestly, what I've heard you saying today, it's top tier. Coming from the right side of the aisle and you saying these things.
Well, you've heard me say it before, Zeus, and other people's stuff. That's why when me and you were in a panel together, I get dropped so much. They can't handle what I say.
Oh, look at that. They say Natalie is a Democrat. Look at that. You see, you got one of these haters. That's a shirt right there. That's a shirt right there, Natalie.
I think it's funny that you have to switch political affiliation when you disagree with the president. You're not supposed to agree 100% down the board with any presidential candidate. And it's sad that they want to sit there and call you traitors and stuff because you can point out what's wrong. And these are people too that never signed a contract for the United States government. So yeah, of course you're going to be okay with what's going on in Iran. You weren't there to pay attention to what happened in Iraq behind the scenes. I lost so many people in Iraq, so many. And
so sorry.
You don't see that.
No.
You just go along with it because Donald Trump says it's good. And for any Republican in here, if you haven't went on Amazon Prime Video and watched that movie, The Apprentice, I strongly advise you to, because I watched it the other day and it's got to be true considering they haven't had a cease and desist or been sued over it yet. It's got to be true. So I would advise anybody to go on Amazon Prime and watch The Apprentice.
Wow.
It's a huge eye opener. It really is.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Natalie. You dropped a lot of jewels. And I'll say this. It does take a lot of courage to say what you said, because even when I visited your space or even other spaces where I consider it red spaces. There are moments, honestly, where I do feel as though a lot of times people want to agree with me, but due to the relationships all of you might have with each other, it's not so easy to do it. But it's just nice to know that even in the spaces that you frequented and been in, you still know what's true out here. All right, because it honestly really has nothing to do with parties at this moment. Normally, under normal conditions, I think it would have been party, but at this point, we're just like we can't trust the White House, and you either are standing up for what's right or you're not. And if you're on that side, then you still can do it. If you're on this side, you still can do it. But to just run around here and blindly follow Donald Trump and agree with everything he is saying, no.
Well, the e-files part is what started making me pay attention. When that started coming out, that's when I started really paying attention. And then when the Iran thing came out, that's when I was like, I can't, you get what I'm saying. Like, I mean, the morality part kicks in over the politics, and it's kind of like, no, I can't sit here and keep supporting this because, it's wrong.
Got to give it to you. I mean, seriously, that made my morning, honestly. You never know what's about to happen every time you go live, Natalie. But, when I hear stories like this, it honestly gives me hope to just keep going, because even though, you have your story, your struggle, it's nice to see that there's folks that are able to pull through and get it and be clear-minded, honestly, about what's really
it's
happening.
definitely made me do more research since the e-file and Iran thing. Because before I would do just a little bit and kind of go from there, but ever since a few months ago, I've really been digging deeper into stuff and paying more attention. And
So let me ask you this. Because I frequently talk towards conservative women that still support Donald Trump. Between the E-Files and the Amazon Prime movie, and you see how Donald Trump treats the women reporters, correct?
Yes.
Would you say that there's enough evidence for any woman that supports Donald Trump to come to a reasonable conclusion that this guy is, very misogynistic at least and doesn't respect women? Is there enough evidence that supports that based on what you can tell?
Well, I think that Apprentice movie that I watched the other day, I think I watched it like 3 days ago. That alone would answer a lot of people's questions, or it might, like with you, it might go ahead and solidify what you already knew, because it shows like his relationship with Ivana.
Yep.
And he was very, very, very ugly and bad to her. Very, very bad.
Facts.
And like I said, I watched that movie like 3 days ago, and I was just like, oh my goodness. I'm like, and it's got to be true because it's still on. It's still up for people to watch. So.
W's for Natalie. Someone asked Vegas Girl. She said, "Do you regret voting for Trump?"
What, is that what Vegas Girl just asked?
Yeah, she just asked you that.
Well, I mean, I don't ever regret anybody that I vote for, which is why I have voted Democrat before. I don't regret anything. But if I would have known now, if I would have known then what I know now, I probably would have done things a little bit differently. Because it's craziness. Like it's cult-like behavior with MAGA, and that's why ever since 2015, I've never said I was MAGA, because you got to be able to see between the lines, and I don't know. And then with me voicing my opinion lately, and the way people have been just so nasty and just so vile about it, it's like, and I'm not going to say the word, but unless you're feeding me, financing me, or whatting me, I mean, your opinion about what I say doesn't matter. It doesn't. I mean, you're not going to be the one to vote for me. You're not going to be the one to put food on my table. So I don't care. I mean,
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. People are going to be upset with you now, Natalie, because you could have said, yes, I do regret my vote, and I would have voted for Kamala, but you didn't say that. So,
Well, really, in all honesty, I know people are gonna probably laugh
they're
in the
gonna-
chat, which I don't really care. But people hate RFK, but that's who I was actually planning on voting for over Trump. I was gonna vote for RFK.
You couldn't bring
over
yourself.
him.
You know what? We may have to have a separate discussion about it because the Kamala thing is a very sore thing, in the Democrat circles.
Well, I think they should have given her more time. That's my opinion. I think that Joe Biden should have dropped out long before he did and given her more than 90 days to actually say what she needed to say and go and do her campaigns. I think that she should have had an ample amount of time, just like everybody else did, and she didn't. I think that if she could have had more time, to kind of show what she wanted to do, it could have probably been different. But he waited to drop out. He kept saying, "I'm good. I'm going to do this," and then he finally did it. And I didn't think that was fair for her because she had to come in 90 days before and then kind of do the best she could.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm still going to give you a round of applause because I think you're being honest with yourself. I really do want to say that I wish you could have just said, Kamala, yeah, I would have voted for her because, even though she had 90 days, that was still going to be the best option because, reasonably, she would have not put us in a situation that we're in. However, I do understand, though, day one or, going through the rehabilitation process isn't easy, And I would rather you honestly say what you said than to try to trick me into believing that you would have done it because I've seen a lot of people that, they've lied to Big Zeus. Oh, I would have done that. And then you turn around and you see it and they were just saying it just to blow smoke up my what. So, it is what it is. All right. And we're going to keep the conversation going.
Well, I appreciate you letting me up here to say that. So
Yeah. I appreciate you coming up here and being honest too, because I truly believe, your journey is your journey. And as long as you can be honest with yourself, that's really all that matters. And then I'm going to also encourage you, to reconsider a little more about Vice President Kamala Harris, because if it comes down to it again, you never know what could happen in the future. But my goal is to make sure people in the future go, all right, maybe neither one of these people are perfect, but based on what I've learned about both of them, this person obviously is the right person that we should vote for. Because if it was on the other shoe, right, and Donald Trump was a Democrat and Kamala was a Republican and I'm a Democrat, I probably would have had to do something difficult. It would have been nasty in that voting booth and maybe never told anybody, but I'd have to probably vote for Kamala because I know that Donald Trump is the vile person.
Republican. I don't vote straight Republican, Zeus. That's why, I have voted Democrat before. I just, I don't vote straight one way.
Yeah. Fair enough. You know what I'm saying? I give you a round of applause. I can't send you. Thank you.
Well, I just think midterms are going to be interesting before I drop. Midterms are going to be very interesting with the events that's been going on. And like I said, I do strongly want people to go on the AIPAC website to make sure the candidate that you're voting for is not being funded from Israel.
Yeah.
So.
There it goes. All right. And I'm going to do
All
that
right,
too.
thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Natalie. Seriously, I know, but I'm the nice person, all right. But don't let any of this negative. Well, it's not negative, honestly. It's honesty. Just keep on learning, all right. I'm gonna say it that way. Just keep on learning. Oh yeah. Hey, let me talk to the audience real quick. Yeah, I know. To the W's to the chat too. I see y'all out there. Keep up. Y'all really do be applying. Y'all apply a lot of pressure. Did y'all know that? Y'all apply a lot of pressure. You all have high expectations, and you never drop the standards. So I got to give it to you. And this is an example. These folks, I'm the nice guys. I'm the nice one, but they hold Zeus to a very high standard over here on this side of TikTok. But and you know what? It's necessary. I don't want people to not get authentic feedback about decisions that they've been making. And I don't always win with the audience, but I'm the Rizzler and I'm Triple H. So I get a little bit more degrees of freedom than a lot of you. And did I tell you that I was verified? So I can do a lot of things a lot of people can't do, but I do honestly appreciate the honest feedback because I have learned, honestly, whether I like the information that I'm being given or not, I'd rather have the opportunity to make the choice on my own. Don't blow smoke up my what and make me think I'm good when I'm really not. No, I'd rather mess up and then you get to say, well, I was trying to tell you. I'd rather have that going on. All right, moving it along. Let me bring up my next guest, the beautiful Ange.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Somebody said warm it up. I'm
For
doing
me?
pretty good. No. They were
Good
just saying.
Lord.
No,
Tough crowd.
these
No.
people they want to see people get sent to hell on this show. That's the problem, right? When we run out of people, that you can send to hell, and so then it just becomes like, just do it. That's what I think.
Well, not me, please. Okay.
No, not you.
I have not done a thing wrong. I voted the correct way. That's
Yeah.
all I'm going to say. I have a question for you.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, for you.
Oh.
What are the gas prices where you live?
I drove past one yesterday, $6.79.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. What can
I
I
wanted
do?
to say the other one.
What can I do? Honestly, imagine a lot of people. When you don't, your gas. I don't know, when do you often fill up your tank? Some people do it half a tank, right? Some people let the light come on. I tend to be one of those people, right? You let the light come on because I just hate going to the gas station. And
Well, I did that once while I was trying to get my kids to school. And that was a little embarrassing when I ran out of gas. So I'll never do it again. But that was when I had a Mercedes, Vegas girl. I know you're always interested in what I drive. But what I've done now is I bought a new vehicle that's a hybrid. So, but I will still, I get better gas mileage, thank goodness, with what's going on.
Okay.
But, I never let it get below like a quarter of a tank.
Okay.
Anyway, where I was going with that is Snuggles made a video about me about 2 months ago when the Iran war started. And I had to revisit it. I went back, revisited it. And he told me the gas prices would never even reach $4 a gallon. You know, it is here in Maine, where it's probably cheaper than a lot of places. It's $4.18.
Okay, Snuggles, come on up here and apologize right now to Ann.
Right now. Lies. He made a whole video.
Immediately. He made this video? Hold on.
Yeah. Right after the Iran war, not the excursion, started, he made that video and said that it was not even going to reach $5 a gallon. That's what he said. So I'm looking at the chat here, and there are some under $4.
Oh, here he
but
is.
just barely.
Here he is. Let's get this ironed out immediately.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I think you're
Hello,
wrong.
liar.
Let me see that video before I apologize.
Go to
Is it
this
on this
page.
account?
Am
It's
I
on
in my? Yeah, it's like the
why
second
don't you
video.
play the video? Maybe I'll stitch it.
No.
Oh no! I've already stitched you.
I don't understand why you guys are crying. The $5.01 was the national average in 2022. Why are you guys crying?
Why are you
Do
saying
you
it
need
wasn't
money?
going
Do
to
you
happen?
guys need a loan from
No.
Snuggles? I'm just wondering.
Hold on. You can mute
Why
him,
are
right?
you saying
Can't
it
you
wasn't
mute
going
him?
to happen?
I
could
I'm
no,
just
not from
wondering
this
if you guys
account.
need a loan. I mean, it's $5 was the national average. You guys told us to get a
No,
second job.
I can handle it. I'm pointing out that you lied.
But you're crying up here, though. Why are
No,
you crying
you
about the
lied.
gas? You
But
just
you
drove.
lied.
But you drove, and you're complaining about gas prices. And you
Point
guys
is, you lied.
Hold on.
Don't lie to me.
You said it's on his page? On
It's
your page?
You know what
in
he had
Chicago
to
right
do?
now.
What he had to do was he had to screen record one of my videos.
It's okay. Don't cry so much. Do you need a hug, Angela?
Stop lying. I'm not
Angela.
crying. You're lying.
Angela,
I don't like liars.
I don't control gas prices, and I like to see that video.
But you well, it's right on this page.
Zeus looks desperate. He can't even find the video. Like you
Well,
guys make
everyone
up
can go look on my
stories.
page. So
I'll stitch it. Why don't you just allow me to stitch it? Because you don't allow us to stitch
I
the video.
stopped that because you kept using me for
'cause I
content because you're irrelevant. I told you that. I
I
told
did
you
an
that.
AI correction on your information, because you're
Be
wrong.
quiet. Be quiet.
I mean,
Stop
just like
talking.
when Natalie said that Israel
talking.
funds AIPAC, and Israel does not. It's illegal for Israel to fund AIPAC. So, I mean, Natalie's coming up here lying. You guys are continually
You're
lying.
just going after everybody I see this morning. Stop lying.
I'm just stating facts. You guys are not
Liar.
winning. Who's your president? Who's the president?
What are we winning?
Why did
Now are we playing a sport here? I mean,
I'm just
I know I
wondering,
watched
why
the
did
Celtics
Kamala
last night
lose?
and it
I
sucked
asked
because
every
they
Democrat.
lost. It's a
Yeah.
sport. Can you mute him for
Yeah, I'm
Christ's
trying
sakes?
to.
He
I
needs to
think I
shut
messed
up.
up. I think I messed up TikTok Studio. Snuggle, so you don't want to
I asked
apologize?
many Democrats, why did Kamala lose?
Yeah, he's just gonna lie. He's just gonna lie.
He's just gonna lie. Everybody, you can check. I think, am I on my backup? I think I am because people keep reporting my main. It's either the first or second video, and I don't let him stitch me because he uses my content to be relevant, and I was sick of it. So he
Yeah.
screen recorded me with his lies about the gas prices they're not gonna hit. I think it was either $4. Anyway, they've already hit it. They've already more than hit it. It's actually gone up 30 cents here in 5 days. So I don't know. I don't know what 5 more days is going to bring, but that was my first point. I'll stop talking about him. We need to. My other thing I wanted to talk about with this war. Has anybody heard of the Military Resiliency Unit?
No.
Okay. This is where they specialize in psychiatric treatment for service members, particularly like depression, PTSD, self-deleting, I don't know how to say it, self-harm and whatnot. So I happen to know somebody, I'm very close to this person, who's an instructor for the Navy. And his classes are like cut in half. So where are the numbers? Where are these numbers? A lot of them are in the MRU unit. They're straight out of boot camp, terrified that they're going to be sent to a war. And I know there's going to be people in here, like idiots like Vegas Girl, that are going to say, well, they knew when they signed up. They knew when they signed up. And I will say it again, possibly, but I bet they didn't know they were going to possibly go to war, a chosen war, because our president, I'm going to say allegedly just to cover my behind,
Go ahead.
raped little girls. Let's not forget this.
No lies detected.
We can keep talking about all these. I mean, these are just deflections galore, but let's not forget how this whole thing started. Those survivors came out and spoke, and what was it, within a week, maybe a month, we were in a war that is not going to end anytime soon.
Nope.
So there's that. Those poor people over there in the MRU units, the beds are doubled, they're tripled up. It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad for people who do not understand that these are kids. Just like, remember when Putin sent 18-year-olds over to Ukraine and told them it was a field operation?
Yep. He said it was yep. And it was only going to last a couple of days.
He said about a weekend.
Yeah.
He said 2 to 4 days, something crazy like that. And how many of them came back? I want to know how we're any effing different. I really do. I want to know. I don't see it as any different. I really don't.
Me either. It's all lies. It's all lies. But thank you, Andrew. Oh my gosh, I've disconnected for some strange reason. You can't see me. Am I correct?
No, I cannot. But
I don't know what's going on right now.
That's all I got. I mean, let's not forget these survivors. There's so many deflections that, because people like Vegas Girl don't care about women, like you said earlier, and what they've been through. Anyway, keep driving your Mercedes, your gas hog, and tell me how that goes.
There you go. W's in the chat for Ange. No lies detected. Oh my gosh. Let me see something. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see me out there? Can you see me? Jesus Christ. I don't know what in the world. Snuggles, you brought some evil demons in here. Snuggles, you brought evil demons on my show, and all I needed you to do was just, you're glad that I'm back. I'm glad you're back. I mean, sorry, Ange. All I needed you to do is just admit that you were lying about the gas prices. All right, let's Let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got? Good morning, Robert Wilkins. Good morning. How are you doing? Let's see if it still works. Hey, Robert. Robert Wilkins. Robert Wilkins. Robert Wilkins. You know what you've done, right? Robert Wilkins? You're on Zeus's show, and you know the rules. How many galaxies do you owe Big Zeus, Robert Wilkins? 2. There you go. That's my new friend, ladies and gentlemen. And Robert Wilkins, work that out with the mods. That's 2 galaxies, Robert. Don't, and I heard you pressing the buttons trying to get off of the show, but too late. We already got you on the record, all right? Uh-oh, who was that? Uh-oh, somebody jumped out of the queue. Oh, you see I got you? See I got you? See how I get them? Now all of a sudden they jumping out of the queue. Oh, we didn't mean to send that request. I'm just doing a little bit of action, monitoring. Doing a little bit of monitoring because I got to run a tight operation. Good morning, Kabir. Lovely T. Pearl Perry. Hey, lovely T. Pearl Perry. Oh, lovely. Lovely T. Pearl Perry. You owe Big Zeus 2 galaxies, all right? I'm just double checking. 20 galaxies, all right? Because, mama need a house. Baby, what is the song? You know what I'm talking about. Mama need a house, baby need some shoes. Oh yeah. So let's see. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? G. Montel, good morning. See if we got another one. I'm deep. That's at least 4 galaxies out there that they owe. G. Montel.
Zeus, can you hear me?
I sure could. Was this an accident?
No, peace and blessings, brother. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. Just
all right. It's my first. Oh, good. First, let me before we visit the other side of the plate. Excuse me for being hoarse this morning. That's that tree weather down here in Florida.
Okay.
I'm shouting out from Florida.
You said the free weather out in Florida?
No, I said it's the weather in Florida.
Okay. I thought you said free weather. Yeah. I said, wow.
No, man, it's the allergies, man. Please forgive me. Before I get started, your parents did good with you, man. You hear me? God is good. Your mom and dad did so well with you. I've been watching you since last year.
Oh, wow.
You're like a little brother to me.
Oh,
thank
you.
You are. I'm 56 years old, and I tune into you. And my birthday coming up May 13th.
Okay,
but the reason why I'm up on the show today is that I need everybody to stay focused. And this is something that, I visit some of the lives and I listen to a lot of the younger generation. And what people fail to realize is that I want to recap something from yesterday. And Val hit home about it. Excuse me, I'm a little hoarse. Val hit home about it. Val said one key word, history. And what we need you younger people to realize, and it's not talking condescending, what we need you all to realize is that you have to go back into 1868 during the great deconstruction. Everything that's going on today, it has already occurred. So those of you who were listening in yesterday, you may have heard Val, but did you really listen to what Val was saying to everyone? See, you have people that come on the live like Takesha, like Miss Cabrera, those who are older, who we've been through certain things that the younger generations in life, you all have not been through. I'm a proud father, my son 35, I got 4 grandkids. And I admire you, young man. You're like my brother, and you're doing good work. Like John Lewis said, it's the good fight. It's the good fight. But we have to stay focused. I love the fact that you talk about topics on everyday events that are occurring within our government. However, we're only good as the people who go out here after they leave your show. How much of it are they obtaining? They hear you, but are they obtaining it, Zeus? And that's where the good fight comes in at. Those of us who fought for the younger generation to be able to go shopping at the malls, those of us who fought for the younger generation, for you all to go swimming in swimming pools when they was calling us the N-word and stuff like that. I want to also, I'm going to move fast, brother, because I got a lot to say, and your show's not that long. So I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to leave from what Val was talking about. When Val said, I've been absent because I've had boots on the ground doing the good work. That's what Val's going to see. Val's one of the people that he would walk across the Pettis Bridge. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, Zeus? He will walk across that bridge. Jim's another one. Those are allies. Those are allies. Jim's another one. They will walk across that bridge and fight that fight with us. So we're only good is what we're giving them. I want to touch on something that Nutty said.
Oh,
big fan of Nutty. Big fan of Nutty. Nutty mentioned something. But did y'all hear what Nutty was saying? Okay. Out of 170 million people who did not vote, 90 million of them were Democrats. Were Democrats. Did not vote. We are not getting our people out to the polls. We're not. I got so much to say, young man, but I don't have you. Your show is limited, so I'm gonna jump around a little bit. I'm even go there. I'm even go there about with DJ. Zhish. I love Miss Takesha. Takesha, I love her.
You really been paying attention. You really been paying attention.
I'm gonna tell you something. I tune in, young man. You are awesome. Your parents did great with you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you something. DJ is lost. He talk, shish, unemployment rate is at 4-point-some%. However, they're not focusing. See, they can tell us that, Zeus, but they're not talking about the black unemployment rate that stands at 7.9%.
He doesn't care.
They're not talking about it. People of color are not racist. We can never be racist. Okay, and I need people to stop this. And this is to everybody on the chat, everybody in the kingdom, everybody in the family.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, doesn't matter if you're Republican, doesn't matter if you're independent.
Right.
What I need all of us to understand is that educate yourself. We have the responsibility to be the best of who we are to ourselves. That's through education. I'm a proud graduate of Cheney University. I originally grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm a Pittsburgher. Grew up in a conservative city. Finished up my graduate school at Penn State. But I think that the more of us that get out here and we zone in on facts that matter, they want us to be distracted.
Right.
They want us to be on these lives, Zeus. They want us to be at each other's throat. It's not about party.
Right.
Miss Natalie hit home on something today.
Yes, she did.
She might be a conservative, but she has voted across the aisle. I'm a member of the National Democratic Committee. I pay my dues faithfully, but I've also voted across the aisle. It's about all of us.
Thank you.
When I dream, brother, I dream in colors because we have to live together.
Amen.
See, they say, Zeus, I came up in the era, man, and I'm not going to keep you too much longer. We were the ones in my generation. I'm not sure if you're old enough to remember when the Black Bart Simpson came about.
Yeah.
Okay, the black Bart Simpson, and my brother Q is on. I'm not sure if he's still around, but he's one of my brothers. He's one of my fraternity brothers. And the brother that founded the Black Bart Simpson, he was a graduate of Hampton University.
Really?
See, when they talk about collective thinking and collective bartering, think tanks, we invented think tanks. In our day, we grew up, Zeus, it wasn't all this AI stuff. We grew up when we were going to college on cue cards and research and stretching our mind, and we had to do the work. So I challenge everybody to do that. And I think that when you're on these lives, when you encounter those who are older than you, whether you agree or disagree, don't be disrespectful. See, I too know why the cage bird sings. You understand that, Zeus?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave you all with something, brother. And I hope we have many more conversations. I challenge everybody to look up, who am I? Who am I? We have a responsibility to be the best of who we are. It's not where you come from, it's where you're going. It's where you're going in life.
Hallelujah.
But I thank you for your time. God is so good, brother. And I want to share something with you. I know you're a child of God because you try to get people and get them to walk with us. But remember one thing, Zeus.
What's that?
Everybody's not meant to walk with us, brother. You understand that?
Amen.
Do you understand that?
Well,
and to these brothers.
Let me say this, right? Don't you hear me when I say somebody got to go to hell?
All
Somebody got to.
All right. But in closing, and this goes out to Vegas girl and all that, I'm going to pray for you because I need y'all to understand that. Just like Dame and all of them that disrespect our older women.
I thought you was going to leave Dame. I thought you was going to leave him.
Hold up.
Bro.
I got to get them all. Snuggies and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I need to say something to y'all. When you encounter older women who are older than you, be respectful. You might not agree with what they're saying, but open your mind. You only make yourself look ignorant when you get on a social platform and disrespect yourself. You're not disrespecting them, you're disrespecting yourself. But I need to leave y'all with this. Jesus deemed Deborah worthy, and that's another conversation, and you have a blessed one, Zeus.
Okay, Debbie, okay. He laid it all down. He laid it all down like a carpenter, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Yeah, I got to go meditate on that. I tell you, I have no, thank you. I have no clue what I'm doing right now, other than just being my authentic self, right? But if you got something out of all of this show this morning, then you know what? It is what it is. But I do got to get up out of here. I want to give every single one of you a huge round of applause. Another incredible show, honestly. I want to give a special thank you to each and every single one of my subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Because without you, honestly, this show wouldn't be what it is. Entertaining, engaging, and very, very educational. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. This just goes out to the standard Zeus haters. You know what you did, you know what you're doing, and you know it's the wrong thing that you should be doing, and yet you continue to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these Trump supporters straight to hell. Thank you. You never know who's watching.
Silence, you MAGA.
Did somebody write F Zeus? No, I don't want to do that. You can't do nothing with me. I'm so sorry, but keep up the hate. I need it, all right? These people say a lot of things about me. All right, we are out of here. Have a great rest of your morning.
What about body?
And I gotta fix this computer.
Yeah.
I do not know what it is doing. Have a great rest of your morning.
Read the votes, dead or not. Yeah, that ain't right. What about Biden? Borders wide open, let them flood it. Millions crossing.
Big Duck, Big Friend. W Shade. Zena.
feed your child. What about Biden? Afghanistan mess left them behind. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind.
W's in the chat for Rick. And my sister Kabira.
What about Biden?
Hey, they better be taking care of you, sis, all right? Because I know you still fighting the fight even wherever you're at. I never seen anything like it.
Everybody knows stumbling words can't finish a sentence.
Heaven hitting the cheat code. JC.
While we out here struggling, pockets unsettled. Weaponized OJ, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, 100 gets praised.
Joe Biden's poll numbers are actually higher. The class. Can you believe that? Joe Biden has higher poll numbers than Trump right now. Hey, Heaven. Yeah, that ain't right. Heaven's on fire. He's on fire.
Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin?
Y'all making me look like I'm a grifter. Please don't make me look like that in front of all these haters. I love Evan, yeah. Here goes. What about Biden? Somebody wrote, what about gas prices? What about Oh, W. Cindy. My heart is with you, Angus. Here's my favorite part. Karma. Heaven. Lady. What about him? Okay. JC. Powerful. Oh my gosh. Powerful. Thank you. You all make it happen. Powerful black woman. I see you. All right. W to all the gifters. All right. All right. Seriously, I got to get out of here, but I'll be back tomorrow. Please remember, tomorrow is going to be an abbreviated show. W. Marissa. All right, we're out of here.